Hi everyone, it's Matt from Ports and Pensions. I just stepped out onto the balcony of our suite on Independence of the Seas. We just arrived at Grand Cayman. Now we are not at a pier here. To get to Grand Cayman, you will need to take the tender. I normally don't hit the port when we tender in, but we are going to try it today and let you know how this works. So we are sitting right near the Carnival Horizon. The Horizon was launched in 2018, has a gross tonnage of 133,000, a double occupancy capacity of about 4,000. It was the second ship in the fleet to feature a full-scale IMAX theater on board. The ship also has Skyride, which is a suspended 2-lane bike course that lets you zip around the top deck for incredible views of the ocean. The night before, you'll get a letter with instructions for taking the tender. During busy times, you may need a ticket, and excursion guests normally have priority. We headed out after the time tickets were required and only waited a few minutes for the next tender. Here is one of the tenders run by Caribbean Marine Services, CMS. On a busy day with 4 ships in the harbor, they can move upwards of 4,000 to 5,000 people in roughly 2 to 4 hours. For the steadiest ride, try to sit on the lower deck near the center of the boat, especially if there is a bit of a swell in the harbor. The ride is only about 10 minutes. It takes some time to load and unload, so plan on 20 to 30 minutes total for the trip. Loading was relatively smooth. One thing to note is when we returned, we had to disembark from the top deck, which required us to climb the stairs. We just waited for everyone else to go first, so we were not in line on the stairs. Something people don't realize when they're looking at the beach is that we're actually sitting on top of an underwater mountain range called the Cayman Ridge. Just a few miles out, the ocean floor drops off into the Cayman Trench. It's over 25,000 feet deep in some spots, one of the deepest points in the Caribbean. That's why the water looks so blue. There's nothing but a couple of miles of ocean straight down right off the shelf. As we pull into the harbor, you'll see the cargo area and the cranes. This island imports almost everything, from the fuel to the food, so the port is always busy. Once you hit the pier, you're in the middle of Georgetown. Most people head straight for 7 Mile Beach. It's a good stretch of sand, though it's actually closer to 6 miles long. That's the Norwegian Prima sitting out there. It's the lead ship of a new class for NCL, launched back in 2022. It's a bit smaller than the ships they were building before, coming in at about 143,000 gross tons and 965 feet long. While ships like the Encore carry nearly 4,000 people, the Prima tops out at around 3,100 guests. You notice the difference in the space to guest ratio immediately. It's less about being the biggest on the water and more about having a bit more room to move around. The design is different too. Instead of one big pool deck where everyone crowds together, they moved a lot of the public space down to deck 8, which they call Ocean Boulevard. It wraps all the way around the ship. You've got Infinity Beach with pools that look like they drop right into the ocean, and a glass walkway called Ocean Walk if you want to see the water right under your feet. Up top is the Prima Speedway. It's a 3-level racetrack, the biggest they've built so far. Then you've got the Drop, which is a 10-story dry slide for anyone looking for a shortcut down the ship. If you want something different, you can take a bus up to West Bay to a place called Hell. It's a field of jagged black limestone that's millions of years old. There's a post office there where you can send a card home from hell. It's worth a look if you've already done the beach thing. On the waterfront is Cayman Cabana, a farm-to-table restaurant and a good spot to grab a drink and watch the tenders move back and forth. That's the tender process here in Grand Cayman. It's a quick 10-minute ride, but with thousands of people trying to get back at once, you should build in that extra hour so you don't miss the ship. We've got more videos coming on the other ports from this trip and a couple of full ship tours. So if you're planning a cruise, subscribe to the Ports and Pensions channel. We're heading to the port to check out the shops. Wishing you smooth sailing and calm seas.